What is up, internet? It is Dave, it is Duncan back from Metal Epidemic for another album review. For this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new EP from brutal death metal faction Bludgeoned by Deformity. The band's new EP, Epoch of Immorality, is out on June 6th via Iron Fortress Records. With its members spread across Columbus, Baltimore, and Atlanta, Bludgeoned by Deformity unites vocalist Devin Swank of Sanguisugabog, as well as a whole lot of, I didn't realise he was in about 6 other bands. Bassist Ethan Buttery from Dive Bomb and Sinister Feeling, drummer Adam Jarvis of Pig Destroyer, Misery Index, Endrain, etc., Scour, guitarist Brandon Studebaker from Immortal Torment, and Andre Pickens of Sources. The band was formed in 2024 by Studebaker and
It'd be funny if you're going through all that, you're like, guitarist of Immortal Pain and drummer from like such acts as Scour and bass player of Hoobastank. You know what I mean? Like, every now and again, I want one of these bands to be made up by someone who just shouldn't be there. Just like that. I don't know why. I know what I've always loved this music, but if you look at my catalogue and history in bands, it does not marry up.
So the band was formed by Studebaker and Swank, who have known each other for years, spent in the Columbus death metal and punk scene, both sharing a mutual love for mid-1990s, early 2000s East Coast death metal, citing Pyrexia, Internal Bleeding, Eternal Suffering, and Scattered Remnants.
What's the Yeed?
The two quickly wrote the first EP, and shortly after, Jarvis, Buttery, and Pickens joined the lineup, and the band immediately recorded Epoch of Immorality in August of 2024. Drums and guitars were recorded by Kevin Bernston at Developing Nations, who's worked with Full of Hell, Magruder Grind, and Drugs of Faith. The vocals were recorded by Josh Nunn at Daily Grind Productions, and the bass was self-recorded by Braden at Braden Studebaker. The EP was mixed by Andrew Solis at Dead Stare Audio, mastered by Nick Townsend at Townsend Mastering, and completed with art by Jamie Rosier, photos by 8 Gregorio, and logo layout by Brandon. Is it Brad? I've been saying Brandon. Is it Braden or Braden? Bradon. Is that Braden or Braden? Braden?
I say Braden.
Braden.
No, it's American. It's Braden rather than Braden. So.
I fucked your name up about 4 times during that, so I apologise.
He hates you right now, and you know what? I'm going to agree with Braden right now. Dave's a dick.
Well, no complaints here, no arguments.
Well, that'll be the end of this review.
The record also features additional guests, including guitar from Chris Basile from Pyrexia on False Deliverance, and vocals from Don Campen of Waking the Cadaver on Extirpated Human Existence. A lot of words in that press release. Yeah. My brain is just like went into fucking snooze.
This is the last review of the night as well. This is like review number 5. We should have put this at the front. I know I should put it at the end because it's the shortest release, but should put it just at the press release. The sheer amount of letters.
Yeah, so many letters.
A couple of these words I'm taking are right to Scrabble. King me. I don't even think that's a thing in Scrabble. King me. Wrong game. King me. Get back crown on my edge, I can't.
Bludgeoned by Deformity, Duncan. 5 tracks, about 15 minutes in length, and a lineup that is basically stacked with
kind of modern death metal royalty at the moment.
Yeah.
So.
Absolute heavyweights. I mean, the lineup is a bit of a flex to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, before you even heard a note, you're like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's pedigree there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, how did we get on with Bludgeoned by Deformity? What do you think of this bad boy?
So, I said to you, the reason I shunted this to the end is I said to you knowingly that I don't have a huge amount to say about this, which might come across as being like a negative, and it is. There's a little bit of negative in there, but not a lot. I mean, the reason I don't have a huge amount of things to say is it's really delivered in one tone all the way through, and that is disgustingly heavy, right? There isn't a lot of nuance here. There isn't a lot of dynamic playing of instruments to allow, I don't know, changes in tones to really gravitate what is the supremely heavy against the already supremely heavy.
Yeah.
But that's to take nothing away from its delivery. If the mission statement here is to write something that is akin to, and before they mentioned these guys today as well, let's just keep mentioning bands like Bloodduster, for example, who just like had one level of heavy, right? And it was kind of just like an ill heaviness. Then Bludgeoned by Deformity 100% deliver that brief. You know what I mean? They have, it's a big tick in the win column for the band. The issue that I have with this is that actually all the bands you've mentioned there that I have listened to before, I think I prefer to this project. And I think I prefer it to this project because I feel like they've crammed 15 minutes of supremely devastating, brutal fucking death metal in here. But I think that there's no air, there's no space at all. Whereas if I think of anything from the two previous releases of Sango Sugabog, picking them as an example, their albums are really well constructed, you know what I mean, in terms of they know kind of what they're giving you in between. As a result, there's always that bit where, I'm not going to say there's a lull, there's never a lull, but maybe the intro to the next song builds up a little bit more. That ain't here, there ain't no time for that, you know, like, you're bleeding, man, ain't got time to bleed. This is the Jesse the Body Ventura and Predator of brutal death metal albums. This album ain't got time to bleed. He ain't even got time to duck, right? It's just so fucking full on all the way through it. The production is nasty, right? Like super, super nasty. Very fucking drum heavy, like supremely drum heavy, which I'm sure Dave will have no issue about. I have a minor issue about it. I think the drums are produced a little bit higher than my liking, right? I understand why they've done it.
High enough, Duncan.
I understand why they did it, because of that era. If you go back and listen, drums tended to be produced a little bit higher. I put that down to incompetent producers. But we'll discuss another time when Duncan writes his I'm leaving Metal Epidemic note, and this is why. I wasn't pushed out. I decided I would leave. Dave's like, did you though? I think the drum production is marginally too high for my liking, specifically around the bass drum, which does feel like if you've ever walked into a gym and one of those people's doing the fucking punch bag, it's like that. It is like that on this album. It's like the speed bag. It's fucking insane. And at times it took my attention off maybe what some of the rest of the band were doing. Parking that side, it's got supremely cool riffs. The guitar work in this is like genuinely keeping of the era, of the genre, and it's absolutely fucking crushing. Vocally, you can't fault this. Like, dude knows how to do that death metal style, and dude does it well. I did get to the end of the 15 minutes though, and I did feel myself not sure where we go from here, which is maybe, and this is once again a personal preference, my opinion is an EP should always want you kind of wanting more, or giving you like an idea of, right, where do they go from here. I never kind of got that with Bludgeoned by Deformity. I kind of feel like if I got a full length, this is kind of what it would sound like all the way right through, and that's fine. It's just maybe not what I want. I think I prefer the other projects over this. Now, as my get out of jail free card, brutal death metal is not my particular brand of death metal. I appreciate it for what it does, but there is a tipping point for me where my interest starts to wane and I start picking up my phone and scrolling elsewhere. This has a short enough runtime that never happened. My fear is if this became a bigger project, I don't think I would enjoy it as much as I do over 15 minutes. So yeah, it's a kind of hit and a miss for me.
Right.
I think for what the genre it's in and what it does it very, very well. I'm just not a huge fan of this particular genre.
Right.
It's a lot heavier than some of the other projects these bands are in.
Yeah.
By design, at least they're doing a side project that is different than you know, like the bands that they're already in, because plenty of these guys, not these guys in this band, but plenty of guys in the death metal thing, where they spin up another band as a side project, and it might as well just be the band they're in. And like, I don't understand the differentiation between it. This one definitely sounds different, but I don't know if I'm completely sold on it. I do have a sneaky suspicion that you're all over this.
How fucking dare you?
I calls it like I sees it, Dave. It's not my thing.
Well,
it is your thing, so let's see where we get the balance on the review. So if they stuck around this long, they're going to hear a lot more positive things said. Didn't dislike it, just didn't love it.
Well, unlike Pussy Boys earlier,
I have given the last two Sanguisugabog albums, I think it was a 4.5 and a 5. I went as far as to say in that previous Sanguisugabog album that it might be one of my favourite death metal albums for the last decade, Dave. It's better than this.
As you can imagine, with a lineup like this absolutely fucks, ladies and gents.
You were naked when you switched. You press play.
Naked.
You'd already assumed the position.
Oiled.
MP3 behind you. For some reason, on a
Slipping
stick.
out my ears with all the oil.
I'll just put this headphone in across the room.
Yeah. I mean, the caliber of musicians on this ensure that, one, it's absolutely annihilating musically. And yeah, I would agree this goes heavier and harder than a lot of their respective bands. This is much more, I don't know, much more
weighty.
brutal, really.
The weight of the listen to this album is fucking tremendous.
Yeah. Even than like in Sanguisugabog or Pig Destroyer, I think it shares a bit more DNA with Devon and Braden's other band, Immortal Torment. But I'd say this has a bit more precision to it than that band. The rhythms are a bit more jagged on this. When I was listening to this, I was like, right, okay, if Blood Has Been Shed started a death metal band, this is kind of where it would be. It's that type of like discordance that's on this that just
one day they will, Dave. If we hang on enough, one day they'll reunite on their 45th anniversary.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Howard and Adam D are doing another project, but it's going to sound fuck all like Blood Has Been Shed. Anyway, yeah, there were other sections of this that reminded me of a Californian. They classed themselves as deathcore, but it was a bit more kind of death metal than deathcore, I think. But a band called Killing Theory from way back. This is like early 2000s. They also had that like kind of pulverizing, like dissonant heaviness that they just hammered you with for like every track. But as you can imagine, with a band of this name, Bludgeoned by Deformity have a bit more of the gore about them. It's very dank. It's very festering. Like you've got these kind of like unsettling samples throughout the EP. You've got the sound of like fucking guts spilling out and imagine organs being squeezed and stuff on the likes of Intestinal Suspension. Which was probably one of my favourite tracks on the release. There's a really cool moment on that where they have, I don't know what it is, they have this really cool, like, it's like a metallic kind of sound.
Yeah.
That's been played in a very percussive way along with the riff. It's like someone's tapping like a really fucked up cowbell or something like that. It's quite cool though. It's not the only time they use it on the EP. I heard it a couple other times as well, but
it's on the last track as well.
Yeah. Also, like, when I was listening to this, I'm thinking, Adam Jarvis of Pig Destroyer must be fucking loving life right now. Like, although there's fast sections on this, there's just huge sections of just slow fucking churning grooves that he's just kind of sitting back and just grooving to. Fuck, this is great.
Do this with his eyes closed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, reading a book while doing it.
But like, he still makes it sound fucking awesome at the same time. He's an incredible drummer. Track 4 was really interesting. False Deliverance features Chris from Pyrexia on guitar. And I was like, all right, okay. It was that point I was like, started to kind of connect some of the dots. So Pyrexia have a song on their 2021 album. I think the album's called Gravitas Maximus. The track is called Bludgeoned by Deformity. So the band are clearly big fans of Pyrexia, and it's cool they've got a little bit of homage to them playing. They're named after one of their songs, but also having one of their members guest on a track as well. I also really like that Devin kind of leans a little bit more. It goes kind of more a kind of like gutsy kind of hardcore style on part of that track, as opposed to just the kind of guttural death metal tone that it has on the rest of the EP, and it adds a slightly different feel to that track, which I really liked. There's a bit more of a bounce in those sections, just with the style and the kind of vocal rhythms that he's using. Doesn't last the whole track, so like if you're not big in like hardcore vocals, then you'll be glad to hear that he dips in and out of those utterly disgusting gutturals as well on the track. Track 5, Extirpated Human Existence, also gives you some vocal variance with Don Campan of Waking the Cadaver, adding his like dose of brutality to the mix. And if you think Devin has a low voice, then fuck, Don's voice is like a fucking
limbo champion, like fucking right down.
It's like 3 octaves lower. It's fucking nuts. It sounds like his voice has gone through like a pitch shifter in post production, but it's not. It's just that fucking brutal. It adds a whole other dimension of heaviness to the closing track. I love this. Like all I could think about when I was listening to this was, I don't know if you've seen, there's a TikTok video of this guy eating like sweet potato pancakes. And I'm saying, spectacular. Give me 14 more. Right?
Yeah, I have seen. Yes. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear, Duncan. 14 more. Give me an album's worth of this.
This is how you know that we're cut from different. Like people that we get accused at times of being too much on the same page. I keep telling people there is a clear point where we diverge, right? And it doesn't happen often, right?
Yeah.
It really doesn't happen if we agree more than we disagree. But there is a clear point that will inevitably come up if you listen to us long enough. And this is it here. 15 minutes is enough. Like 15 minutes is like no more than 15 minutes.
This is like the curb stomp in American History X, where it's like utterly brutal and just over way too quick. Like I need more. Like same production, don't change a thing, just give me more.
You heard it here. Dave wants more race violence in his movies for some reason. I wouldn't go that far, Dave. Cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
But
I thoroughly enjoyed my 15 minutes with this, Duncan. And could have done another 15 more, to be honest, but I will leave that for now, and hopefully down the line, I know it's a side project, but hopefully they do put some time aside to record some more stuff, because I will be definitely checking it out. Okay, so Bludgeoned by Deformity. What are you scoring the Epoch of Immortality EP?
3.5. Like I told you, like there's a clear cut-off point where I appreciate everything it does. I understand how it connects with people. Does not connect with me the same way.
Yeah.
There to me is a missed opportunity here to add something. I know it's not the genre to do this, but add a dynamic something to it to extend the sound in a different way. I just kind of felt like you were already you're carrying a bag of cement mix, and every single song just gives you another bag of cement mix.
Yeah.
So by you reach track 5, you're carrying 5 bags of cement mix. I just like, to me there's like the dynamic value here is only weighted down and not up. And I think it needs something that weighs a little bit up. I think you need to just take the foot off the pedal just a wee bit before taking a corner, and this is all about putting the foot right down. Which, once again, I appreciate as a stylistic choice. That's the genre, and that's one reason that I can't name like any full album in the brutal death metal category that I genuinely think is fucking awesome that I want to listen again. Handful of songs and a few bands that do things pretty cool. And they don't do anything wrong here. It's just, to me, it's too much.
Right.
Too much.
I'd say put your foot more on the gas and drive through the corner.
This is distant. This is distant all over again. I'm like that. EPs are enough. Dave's like, gaze the full length.
Don't even bother about the corner, just drive right through it.
It's not a wall.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think that for me there was like small, subtle things they do that alter it slightly. I like the little sample. They don't do it much, but there's a little sample in there. There was a little kind of nudge towards hardcore, a little bit vocally and a little bit rhythmically in one of the tracks. And then
It's
obviously
heavy as fuck hardcore.
it is, yeah, it's very,
It's not like had the code switched or something like that.
No, it's not like that.
Propane, I would have been fine, Dave.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, it's very subtle. And then obviously you've got a slight vocal variance on the last track with the addition of the guest as well. But yeah, I'd like to hear what they would do on a full length to see if they would kind of change it up just a little bit on certain areas just to give it more variance. But
you'd be fine if they didn't know.
Yeah, I would be. In 15 minutes of it, like I'm absolutely like a pig in shit, to be honest. So it's a 4.5 for me. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Give me 14 more.
Yeah. And then you go internet. We didn't score it the same. And there's at least a point between our score. So unreal, man. Like the bit of like you just agree on everything that Dave says. I don't.
No.
It's just Dave sometimes happens to be right. And I agree with him.
We've had 2 different scores tonight, actually.
Yeah, but the gap here's bigger.
The gap here's slightly bigger, yeah.
The previous one, like if we didn't give our scores, you would have thought we both kind of were coming in the same. On this one, it was clear. Had we both ended up 4.5, you could have called shenanigans. So
yeah, 5 out of 5 from both of us. Excellent. Epoch of Immortality is out on June 6th on Iron Fortress Records, and it's 15 minutes of your time. Give it a wee listen.
It's not long. It really isn't long.
And if you like your music, like you like your power tools, like fucking sandblast in your face, then check out Bludgeoned by Deformity. Links below. Check them out. Have a listen. See what you think. Happy to hear your thoughts on it. That is a review. Thanks for checking it out. We'll be back with another review very soon, but until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.